Post details an elderly, egotistical president shielded from reality by a slavish coterie of loyalists. Never said that word before. So ailing, mendacious, egotistical, and that's from media outlets that spent 4 years smooching Biden's wrinkly ass. They were so far up his butt, I'm surprised they didn't diagnose the cancer.
Greg Gutfeld lit into President Joe Biden with a roast so relentless it could have melted the White House podium. From confused stage exits to invisible handshakes, Gutfeld turned every Biden blunder into punchlines sharper than attack. No spin, room, cue card, or friendly media filter could protect Joe this time. It wasn't just comedy, it was a full-blown political dissection dressed up as late-night humor. Gutfeld didn't just bring the edge back, he carved it straight into Biden's legacy.
President Biden boasting about how you should be thanking him this Thanksgiving.
Well, this past week, as Americans gathered around their own kitchen tables for Thanksgiving dinner, that was our goal, to give them a little more breathing room. From turkey to air travel to tank of gas.
Greg Gutfeld didn't walk in, he sliced through the noise with comedy so precise it could double as surgery. His main course. Joe Biden, who Gutfeld painted as less commander-in-chief, more confused narrator of a reality no one understands. No warm-up, no mercy, just blistering commentary that framed Biden as a walking press release wrapped in prescription meds. Gutfeld's jabs weren't just funny, they were forensic.
Train wreck of a fact check. Yes, Reuters invites hilarity by fact-checking obvious parody, telling its readers no such luck. Biden doesn't really chase the ice cream truck. So it's no secret the big guy enjoys his ice cream. That's just one of the reasons why Dr. Jill calls him Mr. Softy.
To Greg Gutfeld, the Biden presidency isn't an administration, it's a prolonged episode of national confusion with a nuclear briefcase. He joked that Biden's like the relative who can't find the bathroom in his own house but insists on driving the country forward. The danger isn't that Joe's unaware, it's that he's convinced he's locked in. Gutfeld mocked Biden's speeches as half economy, half scavenger hunt for forgotten dentures, ask ChatGPT.
His big ad buy comes one day before Robert Hur will testify about his report claiming that Joe is an elderly man with a poor memory. Biden will be taking his angry man shtick on tour and hit 3 swing states this week. Over the weekend, he gave us a preview of what senile moments you can expect.
To Greg Gutfeld, the Biden presidency isn't an administration, it's a prolonged episode of national confusion with a nuclear briefcase. He joked that Biden's like the relative who can't find the bathroom in his own house but insists on driving the country forward. The danger isn't that Joe's unaware, it's that he's convinced he's locked in. Gutfeld mocked Biden's speeches as half economy, half scavenger hunt for forgotten dentures, ask ChatGPT.
Speak! He's actually lobbying Baskins and Robbins to make a flavor based on little girl shampoo. Although, when Joe says sprinkles, it means call the urologist.
Then came the pauses, those iconic Biden buffering moments. Gutfeld said it's like watching YouTube on dial-up, every sentence a gamble. Will he complete the thought, drift into a nap, or glitch into reboot mode like a malfunctioning Roomba? From Capitol Hill. Sometimes he leans in like he's about to reveal national treasure coordinates, other times he shouts single words like a man locked in a cage match with a malfunctioning thesaurus.
Joe raided Mar-a-Lago with the feds. Now he gets a taste of his own meds. That's good. Yeah. Stop it! You're biting into the time. The White House admits that more classified documents were found, this time at one of Biden's homes in Delaware and in his garage. But it's cool, man, because that garage was totally locked.
Gutfeld ripped into Biden's leadership with a zinger. Electing him was like choosing a screensaver, movement without meaning, lights without logic. He cast Biden as the commander-in-chief of confusion, where the scariest crisis isn't global, it's whether Joe remembers which doorway leads to the Oval Office. It's like America's being run by someone who walked into the kitchen, forgot why, and started signing executive orders next to the fridge. Under Biden, Gutfeld said, you need a second mortgage for a dozen eggs and a stockbroker to pump gas. When Joe claims the economy's booming, it's like a magician insisting the rabbit's in the hat while it sprints off stage. And Biden's version of leadership? just nodding, squinting, and hoping empathy replaces action.
Pennsylvania, I have a message for you. Send me to Congress that I can support this right, and I promise you, we take back Congress, we will restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land.
Biden could show America his razor-sharp mind by debating Donald Trump, but so far, he refuses to commit.
Mr. President, will you commit to a debate with former President Trump?
It depends on his behavior.
Greg Gutfeld wasn't done. He mocked Biden's answer to rising crime, border chaos, and collapsing schools, hold a town hall, mumble some Hallmark wisdom, then vanish like a dazed dad at Coachella. Gutfeld said putting Biden in charge is like handing a lava lamp the keys to the power grid. Sure, it glows, but eventually it leaks everywhere. Then came the infamous gaffes, Biden shaking hands with ghosts, addressing invisible crowds, and freezing mid-sentence like someone hit pause. We're one briefing away from him thanking a firm for its diplomatic service, Greg cracked. This isn't governance, it's Weekend at Bernie's, D.C. edition. And the only thing being built back better? The crisis response team cleaning up after Joe's every unscripted word.
The cold, sweet treat is perfect for cooling down after a long, hot, sweaty day of aimlessly drifting around the White House like a tumbleweed. But now Reuters, which claims to be a news outlet, is getting mocked online for actually fact-checking a clearly edited video of Biden getting distracted by an ice cream truck and walking out of frame.
When it came to foreign policy, Gutfeld said Biden handles global threats like he's reading bedtime stories to bears, calm, confused, and completely ineffective. Whether it's tense diplomacy or treaty negotiations, Biden carries the energy of a substitute teacher who lost the syllabus and hopes everyone just naps through class. Adversaries don't fear him, they study him like a slow-motion science experiment, waiting for someone else to quietly take the wheel. Then Greg turned to the border crisis, calling it the greatest vanishing act in modern politics, not because it disappeared, but because Biden pretends it did, even as the chaos plays out on live TV. Under Joe, security isn't a policy, it's a mood. While the southern border collapses, Biden's sipping oatmeal through a compostable straw and hoping no one notices the country's playing guess that utility bill for survival.
She's going to win.
Joe Biden was the ultimate catfish.
Yeah.
We were all online being told, oh, this is a congenial centrist. Yeah, swipe right. I don't know how to do these dating apps.
Yeah.
But anyway, then you find out it's not him at all, but some guy in a bathrobe smoking meth.
Yeah.
God, how many times has that happened to me?
Then came Biden's never-ending PR makeover. Gutfeld mocked it as the art of trying to polish fog. Every few weeks, they throw some aviators on Joe, hoping cool shades and a stiff jog will erase 50 years of gaffes and bad decisions. If that worked, Gutfeld joked, Biden would be the new George Washington. Instead, he looks like a confused retiree stumbling into a jazz club by accident. On student loans, Greg skewered Biden's plan as economic cosplay, pretending to cancel debt one day, then getting slapped by courts the next, all while acting like the money fairy will float down and fix it. Biden's economics, he said, feel like Monopoly with memory loss. He's already mortgaged Boardwalk but still can't remember what the thimble does. For decades in politics, Greg argued, don't make you a leader. They just mean you've been hanging around the building while others actually did the job, ask ChatGPT.
Alzer and Chancellor Farabee, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country, the school year.
That's hilarious. I would say the footage does seem manipulated. There's no way Joe can move that fast. But give him a break, he's got oil cancer.
Then there's Biden's grand act of unity, a performance Gutfeld shredded as pure hypocrisy. He said Joe talks like a unifier while branding half the country as extremists, which is like inviting your in-laws to dinner and mocking their haircut, parenting, and car before the appetizers. You can't hug the nation with one arm while pointing fingers with the other. Gutfeld quipped that the only thing Biden's truly united is the bipartisan urge to mute political ads. And the real kicker? Joe's now the only president who can nap mid-meeting and somehow be applauded for his calm demeanor. Biden blinking in the right direction counts as leadership now, Greg deadpanned. This isn't governance, it's America settling. For a presidential voicemail from a guy who forgot he already left a message.
The Justice Department's appointing a special counsel to review whether Biden mishandled classified info. So how is the White House dealing with this? Come on, just got to trust the process.
This is an ongoing process under the review of the Department of Justice. We're going to respect the process, and we're just going to allow the process to continue. Let the process continue. It's an ongoing process. I am genuinely saying to you, there is an ongoing process. This is all part of the Justice Department process as part of that process. And I said because there was a process of justice throughout this process, we just laid out the process that was taken, and that is the process.
Yeah. Sure.
Gutfeld pushed further, saying Biden's presidency feels like an airport layover no one signed up for, nothing works, everything's delayed, and everyone's praying it ends soon. Biden's policy rollouts, Greg joked, are like flight announcements, mumbled. Chaotic, and always followed by turbulence. One day it's climate goals, the next he's whispering sweet nothings about unity, while disasters pile up unchecked. Gutfeld compared the administration to Weekend at Bernie's, except instead of beach scenes and shades, we've got cue cards, spinning press secretaries, and a president who might accidentally walk into the Marine Band. And yet, the media cheers like he just solved time travel. Greg wrapped it up with a dig at Biden's attempts to relate to average Americans, saying it's like watching someone try to blend in at a diner while asking what aisle the caviar is in.
What if the Biden cover-up was by design, orchestrated to protect not the president, but to enable a radical agenda? Anyone could tell Joe was feeble. But what if Biden's decline wasn't caused by disability, but by debility, meaning he was purposely kept exhausted, confused, and miserable, like an overnight shift worker or a Fox and Friends viewer?
Gutfeld laughed that Biden tries to talk like a blue-collar everyman while being chauffeured to billionaire fundraisers and sniffing hand-poured candles in Delaware. Joe preaching about the working class, he said, is like a reality star claiming they understand homelessness because they once stayed at a Motel 6, pure theater, zero connection. Then Greg tore into Biden's social media moments, those awkward, heavily scripted clips where he clutches ice cream or squints into the camera. Like he's trying to remember the decade. Gutfeld said they look less like presidential updates and more like retirement home ads masquerading as leadership.